Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cordant. We're back for some more Rogue Trader. So, we left the last episode after speaking with Mr. Abelard, but we did not finish his conversation, so I'm just gonna finish up his dialogue, then we're gonna do the level ups, and then we're gonna move on to another planet. So, I'd like to know more about my Seneschal.
As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know?
Tell me about yourself. What were you before you became Theodora Seneschal?
I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No, used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling, the essence of my life. I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium.
So the Navis Imperialis, the battle fleets of the Imperium of Men, also known as the Navis Imperialis, the Imperial Navy.
I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcement to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was not easy. Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue traders' personal council. It was a difficult choice for me, but I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was. I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the expanse.
Leaving the Imperial Navy is far from easy. Why were you permitted to quit your post?
You could say there was no one among the naval command who was willing to impede the wishes of the rogue trader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora. Well, the Lord Captain possessed certain contacts in the Imperial Navy. Contacts which she used to request help during the conflict on the border world, and which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue. The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing, or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point. It is challenging to choose the words to accurately express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank.
I see. We succeeded the coercion test. Okay. Again, the magical 20%. The way you talk about Theodora, I'm beginning to think you were in love with her.
What? Lord Captain, any allegations of improper feelings or unsanctioned relations are utterly baseless and bordering on the insulting. Utterly baseless.
Do you have a family?
I am a widower. I am a father of 4, and if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11.
Oh.
My family lives on Dargonus. None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for serving aboard ship, and I would hardly have insisted that they follow in my footsteps.
Thank you.
Of course.
You may call me by my first name if you wish.
I thank you for the honor, but I must decline. As a former military officer, I believe in the importance of order in all things, including the chain of command. You are the Lord Captain, my direct superior. I am not prepared to address you in any way other than as regulation dictates.
Okay.
Lord Captain.
So that's the dialogue with Abelard done for right now. We've cleared out his dialogue, we've cleared out the one for Argenta, and slowly throughout the episodes I'm gonna keep doing it for the other companions. I just don't want to do it all at once. I imagine it's gonna be a lot of just dialogue for you guys. And there's enough of that already going on in the game. So, as for the level ups, we're gonna get an ability, very cool, and a common talent. So, for abilities, there are 3 abilities here that I consider to be the most relevant for me. The first one is get back in the fight. The officer encourages an ally who immediately recovers from burning, bleeding, toxin, and stun effects. And if the target is under the effect of voice of command, they also gain +2 times the officer's willpower bonus, temporary wounds. So overall, a very, very cool support ability to have. The second one is Air of Authority. The officer increases an ally's resolve by a 2 plus resolve divided by 2 until the end of combat. So basically just increasing resolve means we can get more momentum during a fight, making us work towards our heroic actions all that much faster. And if the target is under the effect of voice of command, they will start their next turn with 1 additional action point. Now, I'm starting to stack these abilities in a way that they're gonna get a lot of action points. My main concern now is if I actually have enough stuff to do with the actual action points, but I like it. And finally, we have Take Aim. The target's next attack will ignore cover and will have double the effective distance. If the target is under the effect of voice of command, this attack will ignore enemy dodge. Additionally, the damage from this attack cannot be reduced below 30 plus 3 times the fellowship bonus % for any reason. So I'm thinking this could be a really cool thing to have, especially to give Argenta. I am gonna take Air of Authority right now because this 1 extra action point plus the resolve I think is always going to be useful. And then I'm very much divided between Get Back in the Fight and Take Aim. I guess it depends on how much support I can get from my other characters. That will make me decide by the time we reach this level which one I will want to take. So right now, Air of Authority, and we also have a common talent. And for this common talent, I actually forgot to see this one before I started the episode. Let me see if I can get a nice idea of what I might want. So for example, Contagious Luck is always nice. In terms of the noble ones, which this one, well, it doesn't seem to be working properly. This one I don't really like that much. It's not bad, but not that magical. Movement is cool, you kill it, not bad, and you are next. Now, I'm going to go for the reason why I picked a Voidborn, which is Contagious Luck. So, using a non-damaging ability on an ally grants that ally the ability to reroll any failed attack, dodge, parry, characteristic, or skill test with a 20% chance of success for 1 round. This chance cannot be greater than the base chance success chance on the roll. Okay. So, I think it can help out. I'm not gonna say it's a super magical skill to have, but I think it's fun enough. I picked my origin based on this anyway, so let's try it and see how it goes. Air of Authority, Contagious Luck. Moving on to Cassia. So for Cassia, she also gets an ability because again, she's an officer. And here we have a couple of different choices, right? There's a lot to consider. She has a lot of stuff over here in the navigator tree that I really like. The ones that I like the most are probably Notch of Purpose and Point of Curiosity. These are abilities that force movement on the opponent. So you can make them move into a specific direction, which can take them out of cover, can trigger attacks of opportunity, can do all sorts of things. And then this also synergizes because she has other features that make it so that enemies that move forcefully with her skills take damage. And it's not irrelevant damage, it actually hurts. So I like these a lot. I also like Air of Authority a lot, but I think I can't really pass up on this one right here. So Reveal the Light. This costs 1 AP, and the target ally gains a +4 times the navigator's willpower bonus. So right now her willpower bonus is 6. So it would mean 24 to their willpower and toughness until the end of combat. That's a lot of characteristics buff out of a single spell for the end of combat. So I think it's kind of hard to pass up on this, even though If I were not playing on unfair, I would probably go for Notch of Purpose because it seems more fun and more offensive oriented. And in terms of common talents, we're gonna go down over here and see what we are going to take. Because I think I focused on choosing this one and I didn't I didn't bother with the other one, this one here. We can reduce the armor of the enemies, which is not bad. There's just a lot of good stuff. I don't know what to take. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Perilous Ways. Enemies moved by Navigator's abilities suffer willpower bonus damage at the end of movement, and it is increased by +2 for every cell the enemy moves. So it can actually deal a lot of damage. This is also quite nice. It heals him up, or her up in this case. Veil Degradation is not bad, but I don't think I need it right now. Also not bad. Whenever a creature in combat gains an extra turn, the Navigator gains a stacking +5 to willpower until the end of combat. Having 2 officers, it can make this stack quite decently. What I'm thinking about though is if I want to go for something like Ebb and Flow at this point. Additional action point or additional 20 perception is quite interesting, honestly. Currently, this is based on willpower. It's really not easy. Okay, I think I'm actually going to go for Mastery of Time. With 2 officers, this means +10 bonus to willpower per turn. So I think this can be cool. I will try it out. The other one I was considering was Guide of Souls, yeah. The Navigator starts all turns, including extra turns, with +3 additional movement points, and the first ally targeted each turn by the Navigator with a single target ability gains the same amount of additional movement points at the start of their next turn. This might actually just be better. I will try this out. I'm gonna try this out because if this works with Bring It Down, it can be incredibly useful, I feel. Okay, we'll take these. Moving on to Argenta. She can no longer put points in ballistic skill, at least not for this level up. Pardon me. And I was considering giving her Perception, because Perception lowers the dodge chance of enemies, which means she can shoot more accurately, basically. Agility is also not terrible, but I'm actually going to go for Willpower. Now, the reason why I'm going for Willpower is going to be quite simple. If we look at her common talents, well, first of all, she's at 35, so 35 plus 5, she gets a +1 to bonus. But in this case, the reason why I like it is that we have this skill right here, Shield of Faith. The devotee gains a +4 times willpower bonus % to armor against attacks of demons and warp damage. That's not really the main concern here. But the devotee's resolve is also permanently increased by willpower divided by 2. So basically by taking this, we are increasing her resolve from 4 to 6. And I think it can be useful because, again, I want to try and build momentum. Especially on Unfair, it's been difficult to get heroic acts. So I will try this one out. And then there's just a bunch of useful stuff here for her. So things like Bolt Weapon Expert is something that I want. Swift Movement, probably. Nimble, I will probably also want. It Will Not Die is always good for anybody. I'm also very curious about heavy weapon proficiency. I haven't found a heavy weapon yet. But if there are heavy bolters in the game, she will probably take one. But yeah, for right now, let's buff a little bit her resolve. There we go, up to 6. Moving to Idira. For this one, again, it's a tough choice. I think anything that involves a Psyker is going to be a tough choice. Because there are some interesting abilities here from the Operative, especially Perfect Spot. I think that extra cover efficiency is always good. defensive-wise. More perception combines well with her spells, and plus 15 ballistic skill also combines well with some of the things we've picked for her. But I do feel that the more important thing we can get right now is Biomancy. The reason why I want Biomancy is because this focuses on manipulating living flesh and biological processes. Biomancy can heal wounds and alter physical characteristics. And currently we don't have anybody in our party capable of this, with the exception of using medkits. So that's my pick here. And in terms of skills, I was thinking about giving her logic, which would not be a bad choice in my opinion. I'm actually gonna give her Medicae. The reason why I'm gonna give her Medicae is because she's usually someone staying in the back line. She's someone that's mostly gonna be buffing or shooting from afar, so giving her the ability to use medkits, which she currently cannot do, and heal a little bit more, I think is going to be an important aspect of her role. And finally, we move up to our warrior here. In terms of characteristics, we have 60 toughness right now. I could keep on pumping it. I have decided that I'm going to go a little bit into the weapon skill as well, because I actually want him to also be able to hit enemies. And again, I'm not sure how exactly this is going to, you know, play out, but we're gonna try weapon skill. And right now, for our common talents, the ones I was considering as being quite good were Combat Master, which is going to be rendered useless because of something we're going to pick right now. Dueling Master, plus 15% bonus chance to parry. Quite nice in my opinion. Nimble, I don't think it works too well because he's going to be using armor, and armor reduces the dodge chance by a lot. So I don't think that's going to be very interesting. Unless this 10% is calculated after the armor penalty, which I doubt. It will not die. Extra wounds is good. But what I'm going for is do not falter. So all allies affected by Brace for Impact do not suffer the negative effects of melee superiority for the entire combat. Melee superiority means in melee combat, any target surrounded by more allies than enemies receives a plus 10 weapon skill bonus for each additional ally. It's basically flanking. Larger creatures need to be surrounded by more than 2 enemies to provide disadvantage to the attacker. So what this means is I can just use Brace for Impact, which is his origin skill. I'm not sure if it's origin or if it's background or whatever. But it's a free skill. I can give it to everybody in my party as long as they're in range. And there is no more melee superiority effects on any of us. I like this a lot, especially on him, being a frontliner. Level up's done. Phew. Let's move to the other planet. I've been trying to go here for a couple of episodes now. Begin scan. And we have uncovered Rykadi Philia, the Prison Planetoid. So what is this? Opening the map of the Chronos Expanse. It is a vast region of space where you will travel between different star systems. In each system, unique events can occur. By steering your flagship towards them, this is the ship, okay? You can explore planets, study anomalies, and interact with other ships. To switch the map of the entire Chronos Expanse, click the button in the bottom right corner of the screen. This tutorial came a little bit ahead of time, or stop. Okay, I think it's for later. In any case, we are gonna go over here into the Prison Planetoid and see what's going on in this area. We have a little ship. Da 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 da. Okay. Pilot Raquel. Oh. Come in, escort. This is Captain Rykadi. Escort, please, come in. The pale young woman looks at you with a mixture of hope and disbelief swirling in her eyes. You notice her hands trembling as she clutches her weapon. Who are you? Did you come from the planet? Are you reinforcements? Saints' teeth, I thought you'd never come. Jesus. What happened here? There's been a prison riot on the planetoid. Sadly, it is being led by the prison warden himself, the Honorable Anathagon Casteglia. He has allied himself with the rabble that he himself was supposed to watch, and declared Rykadi Philia to be independent of the authority of the system's lawful governor. I came here as a shuttle pilot alongside the Honorable Evane Winterscale, son of Calagos Winterscale, rogue trader, vanquisher of Xenos, forever triumph over the enemies of humanity. She details, enunciating every word of her overlord's title. Young Lord Winterscale wished to speak to the warden personally so he could put an end to his lawless treason. He and his escort went ahead and... She grows paler. I haven't been able to contact them over Vox for a very long time now. Evane, Abelard mutters, stroking his beard. One of his distant younger offspring, yes. That's as much as I know about him, which means he hasn't distinguished himself in any meaningful way. Evane Winterscale has made several diplomatic visits to Iraq 5 on behalf of his father, rogue trader Calagos Winterscale. The Great Regent would not have granted entry to someone dishonorable, which means, whatever happened in this terrible, malodorous place, we must aid this man of noble blood. The warden himself is spearheading this riot? Yes, she bites her lip. No one expected this. Master Casteglia is a nobleman from a respected governor house and a vassal to House Winterscale. All of a sudden he proclaimed that Rykadi Philia was now his personal domain, that the prisoners were his subjects, and that he would never bow to anyone again. It's pure heresy. And I take it they're looking forward to a diet of sand and gravel? What kind of madman would start a revolt on a barren rock? She has a point. Why would young Winterscale have felt the need to parley with the dissidents? She sighs quietly. It's a personal matter. Master Casteglia, the seditious warden, is Lord Evane's childhood friend. When my lord heard of the riot, the news saddened him greatly, and so he rushed here without delay, in hopes of bringing his old friend to his senses, no doubt. The first Winterscale in my memory who prefers to talk first rather than shoot and slash. She smiles faintly. Young Lord Winterscale is not his father's shadow. If he is determined to save his friend, he won't back down. I pray to the throne that he is alive and well. He's been gone for such a long time, and I really don't like this place. Cassia frowns in confusion. Theobald executed his wife and only son on the mere suspicion of treason against House Orselio? My lord. So why did the noble Evane rush to save someone who had betrayed his house? Do bonds of friendship give one the right to make inexcusable mistakes? Yes, they do, unfortunately. I am looking for a man by the name of Heinrich van Kellogg's. Is he here, perhaps? Unless it's one of the prisoners or guards, then it seems unlikely. There are no shuttles in working order other than yours and mine. There is nothing anyone else could have used to reach this place. Okay, well, tell me about this planetoid. The only settlement on Rykadi Philia is a penal colony. The prisoners work in the mines and the domed quarries. They mine sulfur, serum dust, and sand, which is then melted down. A rather nondescript place, or so it was prior to current events. Well, is there anything else I should be apprised of before I set out? Some of the rebels have holed up in the barracks. I don't know how many, but given this is the only way through to where the negotiations are taking place, I would expect heavy resistance. Please, take caution, your lordship. Lord Winterscale's guards mined the entrance so that the rebels couldn't get to the shuttle. Okay, well then I have no more questions. You may excuse yourself, pilot. The woman freezes for a moment before asking hesitantly. Your lordship, if I may have a minute of your time. I wouldn't ever have dared to trouble you with a personal matter, but a situation... In any case, have you been to the capital of Rykad Minoris yet? I wanted to ask if you saw a man there, a communications officer by the name of Jasper. What is your relationship to this man? We are engaged, your lordship, she declares somewhat bashfully. Yeah, well, I have not yet been to Rykad Minoris and know nothing of this officer's fate. Maybe we can come back here later? That's a shame. May the Emperor keep that fool from harm. Thank you for your time, your lordship. She bows. You can tell by the desperation in her eyes that she is exhausted, frightened, and wishes to be off this planetoid as soon as possible. Well, let's see if we can help her. First of all, did I pick up anything? No. It's been some time since I picked up any items.
I noticed something.
Okay, do your thing,
Never
Argenta.
doubt me.
Thank you. This guard post has been vacant for a long time. There is a layer of dust on every surface. Okay. Build a bridge. We can't reach.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Okay, well, to the barracks we go then. We were
See? Right there.
warned that this area might
Sister
have
Argenta.
resistance.
You are always shrouded in a greenish-gray mist when I see you. Is it me that troubles you? Or is it whatever I can see behind it?
My soul is open to the light and his faithful servants. The rest is merely fleeting frailties that hold no significance.
Okay. The remains of a meal, one far too lavish for even a hive world, let alone a prison colony. Okay, so we learned that we are to expect resistance in this area.
Victory awaits.
We already have a trapped, well, a trapped area or a trap in this region.
The Emperor sets my path.
Let me see if I can just send Argenta up ahead to disarm this.
This task should have been accomplished easily.
Toot, 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 toot. Man, 22 damage. She rolled a 95. Oh my god. Okay. Well, she has trauma. Trauma is permanent
Let's proceed.
until we go back to the void ship. So I can't remove it. Okay. A long string of names extends beneath the heading. Top quarry workers of the cycle. I could just go back to the ship and heal this up and then come back, but I'm not going to do that. Scraps of typical prison food, repulsive to the senses. And...
My warp sight reveals
I was going to say not much else, but that's a lie. Will you shock yourself again? Well, not through
When
there.
the faithful are idle, heresy grows.
Oh my... She rolled a 90. Dude. What? How is the chance to win 20%? Oh, I know how. Okay. Yeah, I know how. It's negative 40 plus 6. No. I don't know how. Yes, I do. Negative 40 plus 6 equals 20. Yeah. Okay. So, what else do you have? Strength and toughness reduced. Action points reduced. Oh, lovely. Okay, well. Let's carry on. Prison Diary of Atishan, Part 1. Grok shit, why me? Why? I missed my tithe payment 12 years ago. 12 years! The inspector's writ got lost somewhere in the bowels of the Planetary Administratum and was lying there this whole time. But they made sure to remember to tack on the fines every month. By the time they found the blasted paper and finally informed me, the total sum was so obscene it would take 3 generations of my descendants, if I had any, to pay it off. My fate was sealed. Trial, sentence, prison. All because of some daft rotter who shoved my paper in the wrong box. To be fair, I think I got off pretty easy. My bed in the barracks is about as hard as that slab of rockcrete I've got at home. Working in the quarry isn't much tougher than my old job, and the rules, void take me, that old sod that governs Rykadi Minoris is a bloody sadist by comparison. It's a strange old place. I haven't been beaten once yet. The guards bark orders all the time, but they never hit us. They also got this kind of inner circle of special chosen prisoners. The optimatum, they call it. If you can get in, Emperor is my witness, you get an actual day off. What? They let you out of your cell and into the yard by the big barracks. And, I tell you what, they let you rest there and feed you better than whatever swill they're giving us in the canteen. They told me it's to improve our motivation and all that, to foster a stronger desire to reform and become a worthy servant of the Imperium once more. But I know it for what it is, just a club for the Warden's favorites. The same story as everywhere else. Suck up to the people in power and get some swanky perks. They say the whole thing was the Warden's idea. Funny man, our Warden. He looks more noble than nobility itself. Tall, groomed, teeth even, eyes burning, boots so polished you can see yourself when you move to lick him. But that nutter doesn't much want people licking his boots. He walks around looking like he's deep in thought, alright, with only a couple of guards at his side, and he sometimes, if you can believe it, talks to prisoners. "What's your name?" he asks them all quiet like. "Why were you condemned? Do you feel remorse?" He never even yells at no one, never orders to have them flogged. Instead, he doles rewards out to the special ones. Keeps telling us things like how we should strive to make society believe in us again. Whatever you say, Master Warden. Starting tomorrow, I'll be trying to join these optimates of yours. I'm stuck in here till the day I die, and that means no return to society from me. But with the Emperor's help, I might just join the ranks of the local elite. Okay. Let's take it. Oh. Oh, we got ambushed?
Submit and you'll die.
Oh, yes, we
quickly.
did.
Brace yourself.
Cassia's abilities. Cassia is an officer and your ship's navigator. She strikes foes... Oh, so many skills. With energies of the warp and supports the party by making her allies stronger. Voice of command is an ability... Okay, we know this. Yeah, we know that. Bring it down, we know that as well. But I actually wanted to read this to see if it interacts funnily with some other stuff. It's an officer ability that lets them immediately pass the turn to an ally. The ally does not gain any movement points for this turn, but they do gain a number of action points depending on the officer's fellowship bonus. Okay. If the ally is under the effect of voice of command and destroys an enemy before the end of the officer's turn, the ally will be granted that sacrament for... Okay, right. Lidless Stare is a unique damaging ability that assails this one. All targets in a white cone in front of the navigator with warp energies. The damage dealt is based on the navigator's willpower bonus. All creatures targeted by this ability must pass a willpower resistance test or become stunned. Okay. So, since we were ambushed, we cannot actually choose our starting position. We just have to start the battle. This guy goes first and he's tossing a grenade. That is not great. What did you just do? What? He went over there and then he backed away. Don't. I'm prone and I already have a fresh injury. Lovely. Okay. So what to do here? I think I will try to kill this guy and then I move over here, try to kill this guy. If he dies, I charge that one. I am going to use my brace for impact, so we're all negated or we don't suffer from melee superiority and get some extra deflection, as we do need it.
I will do my duty.
Let's get that done. In 3-cell radius. Okay, she didn't get it, but all of us got it. Okay. So, move over here. 1 action point. 2, 3 action points. 4 action points. Okay. This guy doesn't die unless it's a critical strike. That's sad.
At your beck and
oh well. 12 damage. Well, in that case I was dumb. I should have just done this. Okay. Let's see how this works then. Gaining plus 22% armor. Is it only against the target or is it passively? We have 30% armor. So if I do this or that,
indeed,
whatever. No, 30%. It's only against the guy that... Okay. So, endure.
At your beck and call.
And pass the turn. Now, Argenta, who's all messed up. Does this count as being obstructed? It seems to. But if I go over here, I can see all 3 of them. And this Grenadier is a problem. She can't move much anyway, so I think I'll do this. And now I think I'm gonna go for the concentrated fire. Okay, let me look at my hit chance. Not very great, but it's something, I guess. Okay, so sure. Let's do that. Even with all of our traumas on top of us, but it is what it is.
Is a prayer.
Okay, killed one, damaged the other. This one also took damage. Let's try and get some momentum going.
Doubt is for the weak.
Cool. This guy's gonna kill my character. Oh, no. That's
Brace
less bad.
yourself, Abelard.
Man, Abelard has so much parry, and this guy goes through. And
Just a
again,
minor setback.
I want to check this out. Oh, really? Okay, this doesn't count as an attack, is it? Only 25% chance to parry. Are you serious? It's 40% over here because defender's weapon skill, attacker's weapon skill. Excuse me? Base parry chance, troops. Troops? What? What is troops? Chainsword, thick skin. Horde of thugs, troops. Ah, it's probably some ability from the enemies here. Strength, yeah, whatever. Why do I have minus 10% to my parry chance from melee superiority, dude? I should be immune to it. Maybe I'm seeing something wrong, I don't know, man, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Okay, Lidless Stare is awesome, but it's gonna hit my character as well. What if I do this? I would hit 4 and not hit Abelard. 24 toughness. Okay, well, I think, first of all, I'm gonna move. I will move here. I think I'm going to go... Well, if I want to shoot them all... No, I can't do that. Okay, so different plan. I'm gonna go for some safety, in case this guy decides to throw a grenade again. And then I'm going to cast Voice of Command on Abelard.
Emperor, give me strength.
I will also give him Reveal the Light.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Okay. Now let's give him an extra turn.
Isn't this a job
With
for
bring
the
it down.
serfs?
Okay. I want to check something in case I forgot this. Okay, I'll have lasting impression. You are the one that has more than possible. Okay, so everything seems to be fine right now. We can cleave all of these enemies here, which I will do.
I will do my best to take care of this one.
Nice. 2 kills, 1 heavily injured. Pass the turn. I spent my turn getting up. That's just the way it is. And Idira. We have Iron Arm. The target gains plus 14 strength and toughness until the end of combat, which also stacks nicely for Abelard, I feel. So what do I want to do? He has some temporary wounds, so this might not be bad. It would kill this guy, and injure that one slightly. Though I am more concerned about this Grenadier Guard here. Okay, so you are very heavily exposed. So let me see what I can do. If I come over here, can I still do this? Yes, I can. Okay. So, we go over here. We buff our friend with some parry chance. Or dodge as well. And Petals of the Warp just activated. Dealt me 2 shock damage. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna give Iron Arm to Abelard.
But of course.
And now we are gonna shock all 3 of those, including Abelard. I'm sorry.
Will do.
Okay, that's good. Grenadier again, but he's moving forward. Okay, that's good. Attack of opportunity. What is this guy doing? He's just running around. Kick. Of course.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
And 0 damage, bitch. Okay, so I'm thinking, how much damage do I deal now? 14 to 16. I can kill him. And I want to see how this is... Oh my god. It's stacking nicely, my friend. It's stacking nicely. Reveal the Light plus 24, Iron Arm plus 14, Voice of Command plus 13. Yeah, buddy. I think I will just use a normal attack. But I will move over here first. Because I can't move after attacking.
A tactically sound approach.
Okay. Now, let me see here. I cannot charge on top of anyone. I can get closer though, in case I want it. So, Sworn Enemy should guarantee... Well, will guarantee a kill here. I think I'll just stay here, that's fine. I'll just guarantee the kill and be done with that.
It will
So,
be done.
Sworn
I'm
Enemy,
not interested. At your beck and call.
dead. And now I'm just gonna endure. And pass the turn. Argenta. It's kind of sad that she can't do anything right now. Except move over here. But she doesn't have line of sight for anyone in that case. So I think I'll just do something like this for now. Or actually wait, I can use my run and gun. Not sure if this is cover, however. Well, she has 2 traumas already anyway, so we can give her 1 more if that's the case. Okay, so nothing here hits. Okay, we do have... this is even better. Yep. Although she is closer to the enemies, which I do not appreciate. Let's try.
The enemies of the
I'll go over
Emperor
here.
will be undone.
And now I'm only really going to use 1 ability, which costs 1 action point, so might as well use
I'll do it.
Concentrated Fire. And nuke.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
And if she hit just like 1 more shot, it would have been enough. Now I pay the price for my choice. But I did so willingly. So it's kind of whatever. Cassia, what do you do? Lidless Stare can almost catch the last one there. Kind of a shame. And I think I want to try something else as well. But okay, first I'm going to start with this. One down. Now, features. Guide of Souls. Let's see if I do this, if this works the way I would like it to work. The first ally targeted each turn by the navigator with a single target ability gains the same amount of additional movement points at the start of their next turn. So, this will give someone an extra turn, so this should give them 3 movement points. Will it work though?
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
It does not work. Why doesn't it work? I don't understand.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Alright, that's not bad. A grenade here is gonna be something magical. I think she got a lot of movement points though. Or is it just my impression?
Be careful not to cross my gaze.
What? Wait. No, the ally gains the same amount. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. Okay, moving on over here. To make a grenade all the more deadly.
Forge ahead!
But right now I'm at the point where it's just like, do whatever you want. You serve me on Argenta to buff for the stats. Voice of command.
All too easy.
I could just snipe him, but I want to test stuff here. So, if I give Air of Authority, she would get an additional 4 resolve until end of combat, and she should have an additional action point on her next turn. Correct? Correct. So take that. And now take
Already done.
this one. Okay. Now she got 2 extra. I don't know where she got all that, but okay.
I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so the resolve is kind of paying off. I'm gonna use it actually.
In thy light I stand. and
Firearm
thy light
mastery.
I crave. As the Emperor
20%
commands,
chance to
I
hit.
act. And you, my Emperor.
I'll take it.
I'll do it. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Nice.
As the Emperor
One more.
commands, I act.
And that's it. Idira. What do you do here, Idira? Can you hit him? Oh, almost. What about from over here? Game. Thank you. Aw, come on. You can go there, whatever.
I know what is to come.
This guy, up to this point, has only been running around, so I think I'm okay with this.
Anything else?
Okay. Perils of the Warp. Let's just read something here. A 5% chance to trigger Perils of the Warp. I've cast 2 powers and it triggered twice. It's not my day. It is not my day. You can't see him. Wonderful. Okay, so what do you do even? He just runs around. Is this bugged? I don't know. It seems like it's bugged.
Follow my lead.
Okay, sworn enemy.
It will be done.
Charge. Of course he dodged.
Victory is imminent.
He dodged. Well, he is a nimble prisoner after all. Okay. It's fine. It's fine, people. It's fine.
Rejoice in battle.
Okay.
I will not.
Why don't I have run and gun? Don't know.
If I may,
No extra movement points.
At your beck and call.
One day, man, one day. What about something like this?
Battlefields are always
Can I stun
drowned
him?
in scarlet.
Not stunned. Okay. So I'll try on someone different, I suppose. Heir of Authority.
Suits my purposes.
Extra turn.
Not a problem for me.
He got... How is he getting 4? Okay, I feel like now I'm missing something that I wanted to do. Ah, okay, there we go. Because we have more than possible, plus we have Heir of Authority. Okay, at least this is working. Okay, good, good, good. I like that. It's a shame I can't really put it to use. Oh, he did get stunned. Never mind.
It will be done.
There you go, finally. And shoot the guy in the face.
All too easy.
This was a longer fight than I think was necessary, to be quite honest. A force grenade, some knives, chainmail. I think this is better than what we have on Abelard, actually. Let's see. Mr. Abelard. Yep, it's better. Cool. And I do feel like now I am going to go back to the ship. Because 2 traumas on Argenta due to mist
you see could be the whispers of the archenemy.
traps
How can you trust your visions at
is a little bit too much.
I don't think that's the question you wanted to ask. What you wanted
Prison
to ask
guard
was,
key,
how
okay.
can others bring themselves to trust a despicable psycho like me? Face it,
Lord
sister,
Warp test
not
failed
everybody's as
and
pig-headed
perplexed
as
was
you are.
applied. Wonderful. The chopped up slabs of flesh have been thoroughly washed of any blood. Severed human body parts. Lovely. Judging by the number of horrid morsels, dozens of victims were slain here.
A new challenge for me?
Okay, there's some kind of arch enemy stuff going on here. The beds have been bolted to the floor. Some have thin, torn bed sheets and even tattered pillows. I saw some goods. Right? Like over here. Yeah, what is this? Ah, sorry. Here. So, Prison Diary of Atishan Part 3. We have Part 1 and we have Part 3. Okay, I'm gonna wait for Part 2 before I read this one. I feel like it makes more sense. But yeah, before we go any further... Oh. Shawshank Redemption?
My house would be proud of me.
The grease-stained edges of the poster detach ever so slightly. It appears that it was frequently removed and rehung. Tear off the poster and examine the wall behind it. Okay. Improved auto pistol and a prisoner's shank. Okay. That's cool. We also have some goods here. Gas cloud grenades and more knives. Okay.
It's about time.
Okay. Let's take care of Argenta before we move forward, because there is another battle after this.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
And I do believe that all we require is to do this. We step into the ship. We technically are stepping into the ship and using the medibay. And now we can return, everybody's healed. Because yeah, having 2 traumas from missing trap disarms, plus the other debuff on Idira
None
because she
shall
missed a
stand in
lore
my
check.
way.
It's kind of excessive. If the debuff were something like you get a 1 penalty or a 2 penalty, but 10 just by missing a lore check. Ah, there you go. So part 2. I swear, the Emperor hasn't forsaken me. Guess who just came down the shuttle gangway among the fresh batch of prisoners? Cleansing Throne Damned Philia, former administratum clerk. No, the clerk. The very same scum who lost the writ about the missing payment. He's the reason I'm in this hole. Don't know what they threw him in for, but I've never felt better in my life. He's not just behind the same bars as me, he's fresh meat. And I'm a venerable optimate respected by everyone in the colony. The warden just came up with a new improvement. From now on, anyone who underperforms, misbehaves, or causes trouble any other way is to be punished by the community. Specifically, by the local best and brightest. Yours truly, the Optimates. The last 2 sods who failed to meet the quota were stripped naked, whipped, and thrown into cages in the big barracks. That's where they have to eat, sleep, and shit now, with everyone watching. I thought to myself then, that isn't right, they've taken these punishments too far. But now, just you wait, you piece of grok shit, I'll get you for something, those cages are calling your name. And then, part 3, I'm curious. Ooh, it starts off bad. I'm scared. I should have known all that charity from the warden was going to bring nothing but trouble. No noble, no matter how barmy, would pull anything of the sort, but that man. It started with the little things. The warden would come by to talk, as he did, except he used to ask us questions before, and now he was mostly gushing sermons. Some gibberish about the path to purgation, the sanctity of sacrifice, seeing with blinded eyes. Ooh, this reminds me of the cult of the beholders in Baldur's Gate 2. The cult of the eyeless. I listened and nodded. Yes, Master Warden, of course, Master Warden. You can say whatever rubbish you wanted, as long as the tasty Optimate meals kept coming. I thought everyone else was doing the same, nodding just to please the big man. I was wrong. After that, people in the barracks started yapping on about purgation and blindness too. Apparently, us Optimates were no longer just the Warden's favorites. We were, Emperor forgive me, prophets of some kind who were meant to save the rest of this sorry lot. Or awaken them, or make them see, some rubbish along those lines. People were now supposed to make sacrifices to Optimates. Yesterday, the sap who slept in the bed under me in my first ear, cut off his own damn ear and crawled on his knees toward me. He handed me the ear and begged me not to forsake him when the fateful hour came. What in the throne am I supposed to do with an ear? That's a fair point. Why is everyone, every single one, staring at me all the time? The warden said the time was nigh, that fate had truly great things in store for the Optimates. I went to look how my good friend Cleansing was doing. He hadn't spoken for 3 months ever since I had all his top teeth ripped out. He spoke today. He looked straight at me and said, "Dead man." I kept hitting him until it hurt me. Now my fists and feet are all bruised. Half the barracks stood there and watched, and prayed. I'm scared. That's dark. Alright. Something I also wanted to do was give you a grenade. And everybody else has one. Okay. In terms of weapons, this is the same thing. This serrated knife deals 10 to 13 damage. That's not a knife. This is a knife. That's even better than my sword. Holy crap. Yeah, let's knife him up. Okay. We are good here.
I won't tolerate weakness.
We have a door to open. Didn't we pick up a key?
This cannot be.
You're gonna make me use
Done.
a multi-key?
Victory awaits.
Oh! My brethren, the dawn is nigh. The Optimates will guide us into a new existence. Yes, yes, dear brethren. Have a taste of my steel. Oh, how I've longed for this, my dear brethren. Okay, that's good. Prisoner. Thank the throne. Normal looking faces. We thought we were going to die here with these nutters. The old man with a gap-toothed smile drops his weapon and holds out his hands in a placating gesture. Please don't shoot us, your nobleness. Let us speak a word. He has a gap-toothed smile. Is this guy the clerk? Well, this is a welcome change, talking before shooting. Still, Lord Captain, the look of this ragtag bunch hardly inspires trust. Give me a reason not to execute you on the spot. Here's the deal. We're honest, quiet inmates. We didn't want to riot, but, well, sitting it out wasn't really an option either. The warden's lapdogs made short work of those who refused to join in the festivities, so we had to, you know, play along. But that's all it was, play. We never meant no offense to Governor Medine, nor to the lawful authority of House Winterscale. Give us the chance, eh? We just want to wait until everything blows over and we can go back to our cells and quietly do the rest of our time. A repentant, honest heretic. How novel. Judging by Abelard's tone, the Seneschal is utterly unimpressed by the old man's ingratiating monologue. The low-born speech is mottled with colors that conceal his true, darker hues. This old man has a long history of lies, and he is using his wiles on us as well. But I see no foul corruption or ill intent in his words. Okay. Tell me more about the warden and the riot. Pah! Why soil your tongue talking about that heretic? But if you insist, here's how it is. The warden of this here prison, the Honorable Master Casteglia, was a crackpot from the start. The previous warden ran things the proper way. Prayer, 1 meal a day, work, a punch in the chompers from the guards, work again. But the new one, do you know what his first decree was? He introduced lunches and dinners. By the 9 devils, that's 3 meals a day. The man was obviously stark raving mad. Things only went downhill from there. The guards quit it with the teeth punching. The warden forbade them. Instead, the overseers started counting which prisoners were digging up more things in the quarry or swinging their pickaxes harder or whatnot, and then, would you believe it, they put together a list of best workers. And if someone on that list also showed good behavior, that's when they'd get promoted to an optimate. That's the upper crust among us jailbirds. Or that's how it was at first. Then the warden decided it's the optimates, not the guards, who should be in charge of punishments, and that it wasn't the overseer's job to watch the prisoners work. It was the optimates. Well, let me tell you, that's when these goody two-shoes really started to shine. The guards aren't even in the same league as our dear fellows the optimates. In the old days, we had maybe 5 or 10 stiff kicking in a week, and now, well, now we were lucky if it was only 50. Oh my god, the amount of dialogue. And that wasn't even the end of it. Warden Casteglia moved out of his chambers to live right here in the quarry under the dome, and I think something in his new home really scrambled his brain. He began spouting the wildest things like the optimates are saints who will behold the truth, and he started taking them to the quarry. Not all of them returned. The ones who did, you wouldn't recognize them. More beast than men. They were butchering people left and right, even guards, and overseers. The warden himself had armed them. And that's the whole sob story. But I knew it from the moment he let us have dinners. Oh, this won't end well. Idrian nods knowingly. The old codger's right. Whenever nobles start giving handouts to commoners, something always goes wrong. She notices your look and catches herself. I mean that with all due respect, your lordship. No offense intended. Okay, so if I spare you, what do I gain from it? Now, how can lowly jailbirds hope to thank your noble self? Ah, I have an inkling. You see, us here, we're, how should I put this, different from the rest of the prisoners in this place. They're all petty thieves from Rykadi Menores, debtors, gutter snipes. They're no one serious. Now we, your nobleness, are cut from a different cloth altogether. We're fortune seekers from the void. Why don't we tell you where on Footfall Station, you know Footfall, the only shipyard and the best market in all the Cronus Expanse? Yes, so where on Footfall you can find some very serious business-minded people and how you can get yourself a very special discount from them on some very special goods. What kind of very special people? The most serious kind, your nobleness. Have you heard about the Fellowship of the Void? I have. It's the largest pirate alliance in the Expanse. There is no leader, of course, but there are some terribly serious captains who decided that cutting each other's throats over loot was, what do you call it, counterproductive. But cutting throats together, now that's anti-counterproductive. And well, their joint efforts leave them with an excess of spoils, so they need to dispose of it somehow. And I, your nobleness, just happen to know someone who handles such kinds of dealings on behalf of those very serious people. Very well, I shall spare you, they helped us anyway. I nearly misclicked on the last one. Oh, that's so great to hear, your nobleness. Just great. Now, there's a true aristocrat, not that warden creep. Now then, your nobleness, where was I? If you're ever on Footfall Station, there's this district there, the Shadow Quarters. It's called that because it's located behind the statue of our holiest emperor. I've known folks who call it something else, also on account of it being behind the statue. Don't repeat their mistakes, I tell you. Reverend Hieronymus wasted no time finding and burning them all. Forgive an old man for getting distracted. So, Footfall, the Shadow Quarters. There's a bar there, built into the remains of an old ship. And in that bar, in the back room, a certain Riza does her business. Tell her Grandpa Bakval says hello. You'll be her favorite client in the blink of an eye. There we are. Well, your nobleness, we'll be going now if you don't mind. We can still attack them if we were dogmatic. I really want to do a dogmatic run, and also heretical, honestly. But for this one, I'm going to stick to Iconoclast. I shall not leave you here to die at the hands of the Warden's henchmen. Go, tell my pilot that it is the Lord Captain's order that you be sent to my ship. You will join my ship's crew. You have my personal pardon as a rogue trader. This is kind of excessive, but... thanks. We are most grateful, your nobleness. The old man glances at you somewhat skeptically, but then smiles and leaves. Okay. We get some more autoguns, and we will call it a day in this particular spot. So, we had some combat in this episode at least. Some kind of mishaps with the trap finding and trap disarming from Miss Argenta there, as well as some lore checks from Idira, but we are progressing nicely. On the next one, we're going to explore the rest of this planetoid. I think we still have like one important fight left, and then we're going to move on to explore other, more interesting places maybe. So, as always, thank you so much for being here with me in the channel, my friends, watching some Rogue Trader. I hope you guys are liking it. If you have any questions or suggestions, you know what to do, leave a comment below. If you are enjoying the content, consider subscribing for more, many more videos coming out soon, and I hope to see you all in the next episode. Until then, stay safe everyone.